Natalie Fort Show right here on GHOne TV. We bring you conversations that matter, focusing on people and politics. With just a few days, the 2024 general elections. We're coming to you from the heart of Accra at the Accra City Hotel. And on today's episode, I'm excited to be sitting with a young, dynamic politician by name Phyllis Koyo, a dynamic and passionate politician, member of the NDC, specifically vying for the Ewutu Senya East constituency seat. That's Kaswa, to be more specific. On this episode of the show, we sit with her, explore her policies for the constituency and her thoughts ahead of the 2024 general elections. You're welcome, Phyllis, to the Natalie Fort Show. It's very good to have you.
It's good to be here too.
A few days to the elections. You look well rested, but I would imagine that it's been a busy few days for you, hasn't it? Couple of months actually for you.
It has been, and well, maybe I may look well rested, but within the struggle continues.
The struggle is real within,
until the battle is won, we rest not. So we are still hanging in there. We are trying our best. We are meeting delegates. We are meeting electorates. We are meeting opinion leaders. We are meeting organizations and all that. So it hasn't been an easy job, but then, well, we strive on.
You strive on. Did you always imagine this for yourself, politics?
Yes. I've always thought of doing politics, but I didn't know it would be this intense. But then, so I think way back when I was a child, I wanted to be a politician.
You wanted to be a politician as a child?
Yes. So to be able to impact into people and also to be able to change society. I know that normally when you say that you want to change society, people would ask, you can do it without being a politician, but you know that when you are a politician, it gives you the urge for you to be able to get things done easily and also getting access to people. So I've always dreamt of going through this venture, and this is where I am.
You're here now. Your dream is being materialized. Now, we always ask this question on the show: what's the state of Phyllis's life right now? You've sort of told me in a way, but more specifically, how is it looking like for you, looking to take this seat of Ewutu Senya?
Okay, so I would say previously in 2016 we have a gap difference of about over 10,000. I think 12,000 thereabouts. Then in 2020, when I came on, we have a difference of 5,000. So we've really close to the gap. And in 2024, come 7th December, I am looking at nothing less than a 67% win.
You're looking at a 67% win.
Nothing less than
for this election.
67% win.
What makes you so confident that you're going to be able to take this seat? For some time now, it's been it's not been the seat of the NDC, of course, and maybe it's how Kumsin has been serving there. What makes you so confident that this time around it will be for you and the NDC?
In order for you to get your facts right, you always need to undergo research. And I've done some research over the years, way back before 2016. I'm still doing research as I speak. It's just like 24 days to the elections, but I still want to do research to know where my weak points are, what I can do to work on these areas. And I know the amount of work I have also put in for, like, let's say, I think 2 years now. It's been strictly my life is just been strictly politics, meeting with people, propagating our messages, my local policies, and that of His Excellency John Dramani Mahamad's policies as well. So we've done a lot of work on the grounds. My constituency and I, we've gone around all the places. Whatever needs be, we have done it. So you know the response from the people is positive. In every election, when you are losing, you know you are losing. But this time, the response from the people, it's been very positive. I think one other thing that I am considering a lot is being vigilant in these elections.
What do you mean specifically by being vigilant?
Because I know that in the 2020 elections we were not vigilant. Yes. So a lot of things went wrong on the election day. But this time around, we have learned from the previous mistakes. So we are going to be very vigilant and protect our votes.
How do you assess your opponent?
Oh, well, assessing her, I think that before 2016, when His Excellency John Dramani Mahama left power, all the developmental projects you can see in Kaswa was done under his government. So we can talk of the Kaswa flyover, the Crispo City overhead, the Galilea overhead. We can talk of the auxiliary roads. We can talk of the Kaswa main road. We can talk of the Newtown road to Galilea, to Zongo, to CP, to Walantu. We can talk of the Mother and Child Hospital. We can talk of the number of chip compounds that we have. We can also talk about the only secondary school that we have in Kaswa, which is the Odupon SHS. We can talk of the court complex. We can talk of the assembly. A lot of things a lot of developments that happened in Kaswa was done under His Excellency John Dramani Mahama.
So is that to say she hasn't really done much?
No, after His Excellency John Dramani Mahama left power, there is nothing that has been added on. There were some projects that he started and has been left unattended, like a waterways at Kaswa J River.
So it has been left unattended too.
Yes, since 2016.
Followed up on.
Yes. So as we speak, I've lived in Kaswa for more than 25 years, and for some time now, there's no water.
The water situation in Kaswa is quite bad.
It's very, very.
Many reports that.
These are one of the major concerns when you visit people in their homes. Because my campaign this time is like 90% door to door. So when you visit people in their homes, all they request is water. They need water.
So it's very dire then.
It's so normally when I'm going, I carry some water with me, and it is woefully inadequate. It's woefully inadequate.
Why has the water situation specifically, that's a perennial situation, not been solved up until now? Why even not under John Dramani Mahama's leadership?
As I said earlier, under JDM, he built the waterworks at Kaswa of Uncle Jerry River. So it was not fully completed until he left office, and when he left, the project had been abandoned. So we are having water crisis as a result, because I'm sure that if that project was completed, we wouldn't be facing water crisis in the constituency. And without water, you get this typhoid, you get this
illnesses, cholera, which currently is being.
So all these things boils down to bad leadership. All these things boils down to bad.
And you are the difference that the constituency requires.
Exactly.
Now, before we delve some more into politics, right, I'd want to get an understanding of you, how you feel like your upbringing and how you were raised created this desire to make a change, because you say that you knew you wanted to be a politician since you were a child. Tell me a bit about that upbringing and how it shaped you and your dreams.
Okay, so I came from a very strict home. Both mom and dad church.
Both were strict?
Yeah. My childhood was in Achimota school, and when people were giving money, break time to go and buy food, I always had everything in my lunch bag. So not even a peso to go and buy.
No extra money for anything.
Not at all. If you want toffee, my mommy will tell you, the money you want to go and buy toffee, there's toffee in your bag, there's water in your bag. You remember what we call squash? Squash. You don't know squash?
No, I don't.
The drink that you add water.
Okay, yes, I do know it. Yes, I do.
We used to call it squash. So you had squash in your bag, you had biscuits, you had...
That's responsible of her. I mean, she's giving you everything you need.
The Bayern trophy on the pack. You see, you want to also experience going to queue for watching with your fellow students. And so it was quite... And right after school, there is a car to pick you up. So
did it make you lonely somewhat? You don't engage as much with your friends.
Exactly. You go home and there's a studies teacher at home. You are watching TV and there's a time on it.
That's a good childhood though. It's disciplined.
It's been some way but I think also in a way it nurtured me. Yes, to be more independent. And to be very focused.
Did your parents have any political exposure whatsoever or inkling?
Okay, so family-wise, from my mother's side, they are politically inclined. From my daddy's side as well.
All the NDC.
All NDC. All NDC. So both sides are very politically inclined. So I believe maybe it's the DNA system.
I think it is. NDC is in your DNA. Politics is in your DNA, right?
So it has growing up hasn't been easy. There's been challenges though, but I think I believe in hard work, determination, and being focused. If I tell you that growing up has been easy, then I would be lying. But it's been hard work, and one thing about me is when I focus on something,
you get it done.
I make sure I get it done. If you see I don't get it done, then I'm not really interested. But when I set my eyes on the goal, no matter what it takes me, I will achieve
you will achieve it. So when at that point that you set your eyes on the goal of the NDC, I mean becoming a card-bearing member of the NDC and vying for this position, what were some of the challenges? Because you are, not to sound, you're a woman, right, in this space. Yes, we have a lot of women playing the political field now, which is impressive. But unique to you, did you face any challenges that in aspiring for this seat?
Okay, so as a card-bearing member, I think way back, but politics in Kaswa is quite challenging, and especially as a woman, I believe that every woman goes through quite similar challenges where you'll be called the P word, where there are a whole lot of allegations against you, what you haven't done, what you haven't said, the places you haven't gone, the things they'll say about you. Sometimes
what was one of the worst things you've heard about yourself?
The worst thing, I don't even remember, because every day has a different story.
Does it affect you?
There is always it's just like the MPP government and corruption. Every day there is one corruption or the other, so you cannot even remember the first or the middle one. So
political trap there, right? Very witty, right?
So women in politics, we are prone to this, and I think it's normal. I remember the first time I was told that she's a prostitute.
You were told that?
Yes. Then
do you think marriage helps in politics?
Oh, it does. It does. So I spoke to my godmother about it, and he said, "Listen, in politics, if you're a woman and you are not called a prostitute, then you are not making impacts. It is your impacts that will let people brand you a prostitute. So if you are making impacts and it's changing lives, it's still changing the narrative, that is
there would always be that tag."
Yes, there would always be that tag. So since then, no matter what they say, I just laugh over it and I move on.
You said marriage helps in politics. You aren't married, or are you married?
Sure.
You are married.
Yes.
Did you see that change upon getting married on your political journey? Did it give you a leg up or less judgment?
Oh, well, for politics, people don't really care whether you are married or not. Whatever name they want to tag you with, they tag you with. But I think with it really helped me because it reduced the perception of people about me. Then it also helped me because my husband is a typical Zongo boy.
Zongo?
Yes, he's a typical
NDC as well?
Exactly. He's the New York treasurer there.
Okay.
He doesn't live here. He lives in New York. So, and within my Zongo community, I'll say 99% of the people know him. So it makes
it only increases your popularity as well.
Exactly. It makes campaigning very, very easy for me, and also it makes me also very accessible to the Zongo community.
And therefore he'll support you, so it makes it a lot easier as well, right?
Very, very much. He's also a politician, so probably maybe a better politician than
that you are.
Yes.
Now we're going to delve into specifically the policies that you are proposing for the constituency and what you've done over the years, even though not having taken up the seat, the impact you've made in the community. Stay with us here on the Natalie Ford Show. The Natalie Ford Show here on GHOne TV. We are coming to you from the lovely Accra City Hotel, and I'm in conversation with Phyllis Na Koyo, NDC aspirant for Ewutu Senia East constituency. Phyllis, you've spoken about being a woman in the field, the challenges, your upbringing, your familial support as well. Now, people usually have this quote, and we hear it a lot in Ghana. Are you waiting to be in politics to make a change? We had Dr. Baumia say that if he what would he do? You know, if he's gotten everything done, what then can he achieve in the event he comes in? A statement that received very controversial feedback. So you have done something, right, prior to your hopes to take up this seat. What have you done for the constituency?
Okay, so I've been able to offer a lot of scholarships way back in 2017 to brilliant but needy children. I've been able to assist them in school fees. I've been able to assist them in, some people, they have the means of the school fees, but they want provisions or all those things. I've been able to assist in that. I've also done free eye surgeries in the constituency. I've done free eye screenings. I've been able to provide eye medication and reading lenses for people within the constituency. Then I said earlier that we had a major crisis, which is water. So I've been able to dig boreholes within some communities.
About how many boreholes till date?
Till date, we are looking at about 7 boreholes. I'm yet to do another one at a specific area, which I wouldn't mention because that will be done on Friday.
Okay.
Yes. So I'm also working on that. I've been able to provide some street lights within the communities. Then we've also organized health screenings like the hernia, the fibroid. We've done fibroid surgeries and all that. Even come Saturday, I'm going to do another one, hepatitis B, hernia surgeries and fibroids and all that. I'm doing one this Saturday at GHOne's GHOne line. Aside that, we've been able to, I've done reshaping of roads.
Reshaping
of roads, yes. I've done reshaping of roads within the constituency. Most of our roads are in bad shape, so normally the taxi drivers or road users would complain, and especially within a particular area where a pregnant woman approached me and says, listen, she's pregnant and it's only 3 months. The last time she got pregnant, she had a miscarriage on this road,
on the stretch,
and she doesn't want to go through that ordeal again. And then another woman, a market woman, also approached me saying the car drops her off at a very far distance, and she's quite old. She's like 70.
That's old.
And because some parts of the road is bad, she would have to walk, carry her goods all the way to the house. So I felt very, very bad about that situation. So I took it upon myself to start identifying certain roads that could be reshaped. So I brought the people in to do the reshaping of the roads. Then aside that, we've been able to also, aside the surgeries on the health issues and the road issues, right, we've been able to also provide certain assistance to some organizations and some groups. That's when it comes to the artisans, we've been able to make some provisions for them, and we are yet to also meet more people. That one I wouldn't want to mention.
You wouldn't want to give it all away.
Exactly, because we are yet to do that. Maybe somewhere in the course of next week we'll be meeting.
But I mean, these are tangible impact projects, and that you say that some even moved you from people's personal experience that they shared with you, right? Where is most of your funding for politics? Can be expensive, is it?
It is very expensive.
It is expensive.
Very.
Because I'd imagine these projects cost quite a lot.
A lot.
And you appear to do them quite consistently.
You have to. You are here to serve the people. So you have to.
Where's the funding and financing? What's your support for that? Where do you see it from?
So most of my support comes from family and loved ones. Family and loved ones, they've been very instrumental to my goal. Those who believe in my policies, my goal to achieve this height and to also impact into the society. They've been very, 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 very supportive. So most of the fundings come from family and friends.
From family and friends, not specifically from the party coffers in some way, or from you personally, or
family
any
and
party
friends.
sympathizers.
Family and friends.
Mostly family and friends have been
family
funding
and
these.
Friends, yes.
So tell me about jobs within the constituency, the youth, employment. Jobs is a concern, but many voters have expressed the need for jobs. What's the challenge within the constituency and how are you looking to improve it?
Okay, so when you come to Kaswa or also Senior East constituency, the groups that are mainly populated are the women and the youth. And I would say the youth make up of about 68% of the population. And there are no jobs in Kaswa. I quite remember, I use Okada a lot.
You use Okada yourself?
A lot.
Till date?
I'm talking I'm talking of now.
You're talking of now?
Yes, I use Okada a lot. So I sat behind one Okada rider, and in a conversation, he was speaking very well. So I asked, where did you school? He said he has a master's degree.
A master's?
I was like, so why Okada? He said there are no jobs. So he's doing Okada so that he can fend for his family. And this really touched me. And upon interaction with other youth groups, myself, I'm a youth.
How old are you?
So I'm just within my 30s.
Early 30s?
Yes.
35?
30s.
Carry on.
So I interact a lot with the youth in my constituency, and everybody's just complaining about jobs. So I believe that there are no jobs in the constituency, not at all. The little, that is just about 8% of the youth that have jobs, work in Accra. So let's say at the end of the month, if your salary is 1,000 cedis, your transportation alone is 1,500. Your parents know that you've been sent to school, so after school you are working, and this is the time for you to also provide from the family. But this is you now going to your same parents whilst you are working, going for transportation
money,
or going for money to buy sanitary pad. So I took it upon myself to go around and do a survey within the constituency, where I met with opinion leaders, I've met with chiefs, I've met with business owners, even outside the constituency, and I have planned to bring the factories down to Kaswa.
You want to bring factories
and companies down to Kaswa.
When you say factories, are there specific areas in which these factories, what industry? I mean, they're factories, all right, but what are they manufacturing or producing?
So I would mention, should I mention two? Or okay, I'll do one.
Okay.
I'll do one.
Okay.
So I am in talks with a beverage company. So they would come down, they would produce water, they would produce alcoholic drinks, they would produce soft drinks and all that. So with that company, when it comes, when the company is set up, it can employ nothing less than 2,000 people within the constituency. And when they are starting the company, we will need masons, you need carpenters and all that. So that alone can also employ about 1,000 people
for that period of time.
For that period of time before the company itself begins. So we are looking at all these. There are other companies.
What are the sectors?
I'm also.
Where do you see the strength of the Kaswa youth in terms of what they are able to contribute to the economy?
The Kaswa, it's a trading community. And almost everybody from the youth to the women to the men, they are all businessmen. And I think that when a business is created in Kaswa, or a factory, a company is created in Kaswa, it would boost the business hub in Kaswa, and it would also attract more investors. Because currently, I don't see any investor in Kaswa coming in. And if we want to talk about bringing investors, then we are looking at Kaswa. Any business at all will strive. any business at all. So far as you start and you start well,
it will. So the environment will.
Yes,
you'll thrive.
You would make it, because we have a lot of educated, smart, young youth there who are ready to work. So any business you start,
it's just about driving them in and making it
exactly,
attractive to them.
Exactly. So any business at all would do very, very well. And when investors realize that businesses are picking up, they'll be bringing more things. There'll be more plans and projections within the environment. And you have the banks also coming in. Currently, I think there are only just about 3 or 4 or 5. You have banks.
About 4 to 5 key banks in the
exactly.
How about crime, security-related issues, land guard activities, crime within the constituency? What have you observed when it comes to that, and how are you hoping to tackle it?
Okay, so when it comes to security in Kaswa, I wouldn't say it's one of the best, but I'll say that the police force, they are trying.
Is it enough?
That's why I said they are trying. Yeah, I don't want to put it like a harm.
They are not doing anything.
Yes, but they are trying.
What could be better?
I believe when they are well resourced, it would be better, because I remember once upon a time there was a robbery attack. Then the guy who was being robbed called the police station. Was like, "We don't have fuel in our car." So they couldn't move.
The police told him that they do not have fuel, yes, so they can't come.
Then there was also another incident where the police said, "Oh, I'm the only person at the station and there are prisoners here, so I can't move." So I believe when I'm talking about resource, I'm talking about everything in general. So when there are more personnel working at night, when they have the resources, the fuel, or the things to go, a car, a motorbike to go around with, I believe that it would also help them with our security. When they are doing it, like you see, like His Excellency GHOne Dramani Mahama says, was bringing a 24-hour economy.
That was actually bringing me to that, because we talk about security not being the best in Kaswa. You admit that it isn't the best. But you, as an individual, as an aspiring MP, want to bring in business, want to bring in banks and all these organizations. Security is going to be a key concern to them. Do you foresee, I mean, first of all, I want a key detailed explanation of how the 24-hour economy is set to operate from your understanding, and how you feel like it will impact positively residents within Kaswa.
Okay. So let's say you are a mother of 3. All 3 children have finished secondary university and not working, or even secondary school and not working, because there are no jobs. Now the 24-hour economy comes within every 8 hours. So the first 8 hours, the second 8 hours, and the third 8 hours. Now, your child or your ward who has gone to maybe some companies for interviews and has been denied the job would get the opportunity to work within the first 8 hours now, because the 24-hour economy
in this place that he might have been denied previously.
Now, your other daughter, who also is not working, can also get the chance to work within the second 8 hours. Then maybe your friend's daughter will work within the third 8 hours. With this, let's say your daughter works the first 8 hours in company A. She can go and work the third 8 hours in company C. It helps, and
so
it brings
essentially
more,
she can be working more than one job within
and
these
when
shifts.
The 24-hour comes in place, they know that companies are working within the space of 24 hours. So the police would also be equipped to work within the space of 24 hours,
and will be given the funding, the support that is
and even
needed.
more human resource
Personnel.
That is why His Excellency GHOne Dramani Mahama, the next president of the Republic of Ghana, says come January he's going to recruit more policemen so that they can take charge of the 24-hour economy. So once your business is running, you are secure, because you know that at every given interval there's a police patrol going around. Now, aside your 3 children working within the 24-hour economy space, the woman who sells wachi along the roadside
is going to be selling 24/7.
It's also going to, let's say,
have we, just briefly, before you carry on with the explanation, have we assessed yes, you explain, and you say that, say your daughter's son can go to this place where they were previously denied a job and be given a job. How about the readiness of the company to take on this responsibility? Because essentially, it demands a lot more from the company than I think has been spoken about. In the sense that, say, as a business owner, you are taking on this 24-hour economy policy within your operations. Yes, you are certainly going to, although the former president, John Dramani Mahama, flag bearer, has spoken about the reliefs going to be provided in electricity and so on. You are going to be paying more, essentially, or having them work longer hours. Whatever operations in your office would have taken place in a normal work 8 hours day have to be extended. Have you assessed, do you feel like as a party you've properly assessed the demand coming in from the organizations and actually whether they can and are ready and willing to have their operations run 24/7?
So if I'm producing this phone, let's say initially I was doing 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. That's the working hours now, let's say, or let's say 8 to 4 p.m.
to 4, 5.
Yes, and I'm producing, within that time I'm producing just 100 phones. Now within the 24-hour economy, let's say I have only 10 people working to produce 100 phones. Within the 24-hour economy, I'm going to do 10 times 3. So 10 times 3 multiplied by the 100 phones is going to be 300 phones. Now I'm going to sell these 300 phones and get more profits. I am increasing my markets, and
you are also paying more for salary.
Exactly, because I'm doing more production.
Is it that immediate? Because first of all, you need to take on the human resource, the personnel,
yes,
to manufacture more of these phones or whatever line of industry you're in. You're paying more salary.
Yes.
You're taking on that burden because you've chosen to take on the 24-hour economy policy. So you're paying more salary to your staff. Yes, there's going to be, former president has said that there's going to be a security and so on beefed up. But as an organization internally, you would also need to increase your security measures. Do you feel like there's some loopholes in this policy?
Listen, it is doable because one, you are doing more production, and when you are doing more production,
is the demand there to meet?
Oh yeah, sure. If the demand is not there, why would you still be in business anyway? The demand is there. So if I'm producing pure water and I'm doing 100 bags a day, and by 12 o'clock people come to my factory and I tell them we've run out of water, and the 24-hour economy comes and I am working into the next day and I'm producing now 500 bags a day, people would come even at dawn to come and buy water because they want to come and catch the early bird, buy the water. Whilst they are buying the water, I am making more money. I am paying whoever I need to pay because they are working and they are working extra hours, and now my tariffs are also low. I'm enjoying the low tariffs.
And this also applies, we would have to hold on here, but this also applies to say the Kinky or Wache seller to now run 24/7.
So if you are working the last 8 hours and you're hungry, where do you want to get food? It is that Wache or the Kelewele seller who will be doing the last 8 hours, or the lady who is selling coffee in front of that business is where you are going to get your coffee to keep your eyes open.
So essentially you say there are no loopholes in this policy?
Not at all. Everybody benefits from the 24 hours, notwithstanding which kind of business you are into.
Stay with us. Kindly hold your thoughts. We're going to delve into it some more. Stay with us here on the Natalie Show. You're welcome back to the Natalie Fort Show, and I've been in conversation with Phyllis Nakoyo, NDC aspirant for Awutu Senior East. Phyllis, you are strongly defending the 24-hour economy policy, saying that there are no loopholes in it. It is 100% feasible, and it applies to the large industries, to the bank, just as much as it does to the wache or kinky seller. And you maintain that there are absolutely no loopholes in this policy.
Not at all. So let's say I'm rushing from Accra to Kaswa, and I know I'm late or there is a heavy hold up. I know when I get to Kaswa, my watch, even at 11 p.m., my wache seller will be ready.
So this wache, certainly this wache seller.
I love wache.
So do I. It's one of my favorite Ghanaian dishes. But this wache seller herself cannot sit at her booth for 24 hours. So we're asking this wache seller to also employ about 3 additional assistants to sell, because if I'm a wache seller, I'm not going to sit at my booth 24/7.
So let me break the wache seller.
I'll take a nap and wake up.
So let me break it for you. So the wache seller has a small shop or a container. Right. She sells a wache in the morning, or indomie in the morning, or what have you. Let's say wache in the morning. Maybe after the first 8 hours. After the first 8 hours, she would have to sell gobe for the second 8 hours. And it is no, it is not her, because she will be tired. She would go home, and her sister or her daughter would come and take over the same shop or the same container or the same space. So that space doesn't go empty.
Essentially saying that this wache seller, right, and wache is, by the way, one of my favorite dishes as well.
Myself.
This wache seller is going to be made to sit at her booth 24/7, maybe take a nap and wake up, or get her family member, or hire 2 additional assistants to come and sell the wache throughout the day. Is it feasible?
No, I know people would not even want to eat wache from morning to evening.
Now she has to change up her menu.
So maybe within the first 8 hours or the first 10 hours, when the wache is finished, there are people in the company who would want to enjoy gobe, add gari, add egg, add indomie, like the Nigerians do to the gobe. So she would have to employ someone, or maybe a family member who is also at home not working. You know, it is not all of us who is interested in going to school. So she would have to get someone, hire someone to come and take over the same shop or the same container or the same table she's selling on. Now, when the gobe is finished, that company is still running because of the 24-hour economy. So if you are doing the last 8 hours and you are hungry, what would you feed on? Would you want to drive home and eat?
Certainly not. It's she's right there, so it's a lot easier to buy from.
So she can also employ someone to come and do either kelewele or bairayachi.
I like how you are describing her menu.
No,
now, what does the government provide for her and all? Because this is what I hear, right? I hear a lot of responsibility on the organization or on the individual, on the wache seller. She has to change up her menu. She has to look at other people she's employing. What is the government doing for her? What relief is the government providing to this wache seller?
So one, the government is also providing security for this wache seller. Because whilst the security is taken care of, we are having constant patrol at the company, she also gets to benefit. 2, there is what we call the Women Development Bank.
That's one of the policies I was going to ask for your thoughts on. How does it benefit this wache seller?
So, you know, there are a lot of women who would want soft loans for their businesses. We are not looking at the women, the China, Turkey, Dubai type, no.
Is that a type of?
No, I'm yes.
Educated. Is that what you're?
No, we are looking at people who are selling in Toskakra.
Okay.
In front of their shop. They are selling granuts, ice cream. This local condensed ice cream they tie. People in mini businesses, pure water and all those things. For them, it is very difficult for them to enter loans. Let's say Access Bank or Eco Bank, because one, they are going to ask for collateral. They don't
even properly understand.
Exactly. Really, they don't have that collateral. And sometimes, the banking environment, the intimidation, that, she's just wearing her working gear, entering the bank, or shall I tell you what, it's a bit intimidating. So His Excellency John Dramani Mahama says he's bringing a bank exclusively for women who do this tabletop. That is how I call tabletop business. So you sell your wachi, or you sell your pure water and ice cream, or your condensed milk. You can walk to the bank where you find only women in the bank, working at the bank, security being a woman, cashier a woman, bank manager a woman. Everybody who works within that bank
is a woman,
so that you'll be comfortable to discuss your issues with her.
So one of the reliefs provided, I would assume, will be some funding because she's going to have to buy additional food items for this varied menu that you've proposed. She has barrier, so all these other things that she should include.
There's going to be funding without being asked collateral. Not at all. There's going to be, all what you need is to prove that you're a Ghanaian. Then you also need someone.
So this proof of identity, a Ghana card.
Yes.
Is all that you require.
You prove that you're a Ghanaian.
With your Ghana card? Or how else?
The other ways to prove that
so
you're
what's
a Ghanaian.
The bank going to require?
So you prove that you're a Ghanaian. You need to prove that you're a Ghanaian. There are ways. You can go there with your birth certificate. You can go there with your passport. So you can prove you're
all
a Ghanaian.
The material that you must have to show you're a Ghanaian.
No.
Ghana card, passport.
No, one of them is
So if you bring your Ghana card alone, is that sufficient?
To prove that you're a Ghanaian.
It's sufficient.
To prove you're a Ghanaian.
So if someone walks in, Wache seller with her Ghana card, she's proving she's Ghanaian. She wants to receive.
What we need is an identity, something that she can prove that she.
But is the Ghana card insufficient an identity?
No, I'm not saying that, but there are other.
Why is the Ghana card not enough?
I'm not saying Ghana card is not enough.
You're implying it's not enough.
No, I'm not implying. I'm not.
So ideally, what should someone walk the women's bank with?
It's something that can prove that you're a Ghanaian. So you can have your birth certificate, you can have your passports. Yes, so you can prove that
you appear to be having some difficulty mentioning the Ghana card being
not
one
at all. It's a form of identity, so to speak. Just that we cannot go to the market and buy cars or go to the banks and just take money with our Ghana, that kind of thing. You see, it is very difficult. But then we may know that the first point of call is our birth sets.
So that's what will be required, the birth sets, because now banks are taking the Ghana card as well.
Oh, I'm not saying they are not taking. I'm not saying they are not taken, but I mean something, a proof of identity.
More legitimate.
That something to prove to you a Ghanaian.
Okay, so something more legitimate than the Ghana card. It's simply what you're saying. But all right, so you walk in, you prove you're a Ghanaian.
Then you need someone to attest to the fact that, this lady really sells at this bus stop or at this junction.
Right.
Her shop is here. Maybe I sell close to her. I know her. This is the kind of business she does. And you are good to go.
And will the bank will there maybe some, there's risks in any industry.
Exactly.
But dealing with this nature of persons, it might be more difficult sometimes tracking them. These stores, for instance, are so easy to move. It's not a brick and mortar.
It is not difficult.
You can just pick up your container.
Should I give an example? I don't want to give an example.
Please give me a brief example, and then let's carry on to another topic.
There's this. Is it the similar laws that go where they throw stone on you? Okay. How do they track you? How do they throw a stone on your roof?
On your roof.
So they tell you they announce their presence. So how do they track you?
Okay, so you're saying it's not going to be difficult
to track these people? It's not going to be very difficult. It's not going to be difficult at all.
At all?
Not at all. Not at all.
Okay, so tell me some more about the women's bank. Yes, you said what you call tabletop business owners, but how about the ones that may not tabletop per se, may have an SME, maybe a bit more educated than them, but they also want to access funding?
I use the tabletop because they are more in the system, but what the bank seeks to do is to provide some source of soft loans for people who are ready to take it. So maybe you have a shop, maybe you sell a wholesale, maybe water or something. You're also entitled. But when I say tabletop, because I'm looking at my community as well, and I know a lot of people do small businesses. So someone who is into SME, who wants some kind of loan,
right,
for but not the Dubai techie type.
I like how you describe Dubai techie woman. But
Because
okay, I get you. They
for those they can provide collateral.
okay, so
And
you're
then-
not looking at that
No,
that
not
nature.
at all. We are looking for a chief of a bujuru.
Okay.
Yes.
Dubai techie type can also package herself as a budru and well,
You find out.
you'll find out. You have a way of finding out. Okay, so somewhat explained. Generally, right, 24-hour economy policy, that's been the flagship policy of the NDC. Of course, the Women's Bank that the running mate has also sort of championed, given the fact that she's a woman, that's the first woman to possibly take up the seat of vice president. How else do you assess the other policy proposals being put forward by the party?
Okay, so I think the other policy, for instance, when it comes to the free fee stress, we know going to secondary school, after secondary school, maybe your child or your ward will want to aspire to go to the university. When you are going in as a fresh student or first year, it's very difficult. You are paying for user fee, bed user fee, hostel days, and all those things, library fees. Perhaps you never even go to the library until I never went to my library, so I'm speaking from experience. So you are paying for all these things, and sometimes it's very difficult for our parents to raise that money, and you are so eager, especially when your ward gains admission, and now to raise money for the fees. It demoralizes both child and so His Excellency John Dramani Mahama says he doesn't want you to go and sell your cloth. He doesn't want you to go and sell the little things that you have, or to go and take a loan whereby there will be so much interest you wouldn't be able to pay. So he's going to give you that free fee stress for the first year.
For the first year.
For the first year. So when you're a fresh student, we can go to school without having to break the bank to get money for fees. I've gotten admission into a school. I'm waiting. Next
You're
year.
waiting to benefit.
Oh, I have to benefit. I need to. Hey.
Timely, isn't it?
Yes. So I just deferred my admission because I need to benefit from the free
and
fee stress.
This would not be this free, initially free for the first year.
Just for the first year.
It wouldn't be factored in any way whatsoever. It's entirely free. It wouldn't be factored in subsequently to other
years.
Payments, other years.
No, there's the student loan. So we encourage that people who still have difficulty when going forward, they will just sign on to the student loan. For the student loan, you can take it when you are done and you start working.
Then you pay.
Then they start the deductions.
So that is.
So it makes it more
somewhat
easier.
of a relief.
Exactly. So, but for the first year, since you are not entitled to the students loan because you haven't entered the school yet.
Gotcha.
So when we cater for that first year for you, then the second year or within the first year, you can apply for the student loan. Then it would carry you through the 4 years or the 7 years you are going.
And then when you start work, you pay back.
You start working, you pay back. So when you start working, you start paying SNET. So they start deducting from source.
It's being deducted from source. That's how That's how it's going to work. Okay, Phyllis. Finally, and rounding up, right? What words? I'd want you to speak directly to your constituents, to those within Kaswa. What do you have to tell them? With just a few days to 2024 general elections, what are your words to them?
Okay, so this is your girl, your daughter, your wife. Let's now call you Okuno. I've come to your doorsteps. I've come to your homes. I've come to your rooms. I've visited your kitchens. I've visited your churches, the mosque, everywhere. And I am grateful for the warm welcome. I believe in togetherness. I believe in us doing the work together. I believe in us saving Kaswa or the Ewutu Senior East constituency. I believe in providing some essential amenities for the good people of Kaswa. I believe in our youth. I believe in providing jobs, bringing the factories and the companies to Kaswa so our youth could get employed. I believe in the leadership. So I believe in the chiefs and the queens of Kaswa. I believe in the GPRTU and the leadership of the market. I believe in all the groupings in the market. Phyllis Nakoyo alone cannot do this job. His Excellency John Dramani alone cannot do this job. I want us to come together as one family. Let us build Kaswa. Let us change Kaswa and make it a better place. As His Excellency John Dramani Mahama always says, that we are building the Ghana that we want. So do we want to build the Ewutu Senior East constituency that we so desire. 7th December, remember, as the day for elections. Let's all go to the polls early and vote. When you are going to vote wisely. Phyllis Nakoyo GHOne is number 2 on the ballot paper. Look out for where the umbrella is. And His Excellency, the next President of the Republic of Ghana, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, is number 8 on the ballot paper. Look out for where the umbrella is. What we normally call the lema. Look out for the lema and vote wisely. Shawa Sitnim Netwabapa. Thank you and God bless you all.
Phyllis, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on the show. Thank you so much for being here and those strong words to your constituents. Now, Phyllis Nakoyo GHOne, NDC aspirant for Ewutu Senior East. Thank you
too
for being on the Natalie Ford Show. Do stay with us. We've got Fantastic with Phyllis next. The Natalie Ford Show, coming to you from the Accra City Hotel. Now, Phyllis, it's time for Fantastic. So forget politics for a few seconds or a minute or so. So the game is, if not politics, then what? Right? That's the title of the game. So I'm going to ask you a few questions and you just let me know your preferred. If you could switch lives with someone for a day, who would it be and why? Briefly.
Hey.
That's a lot.
If I could switch life, myself. Yeah, because I believe in myself.
You're not going to switch with anyone. You.
Myself.
That's a cop out. It cheats, but it's okay. What's the most spontaneous thing you've ever done? Wow.
To laugh at someone falling from a chair. It just came.
That's been the most spontaneous? Okay, cool. Now, what's one thing you're passionate about that might surprise people?
Being in my seat.
If not politics, but still your mind is on politics. No problem. If you could travel anywhere in the world, where would you go and why?
Ghana.
Phyllis, you are copping out of all your responses. Another place.
Ghana.
Cheat.
I believe Ghana is a very beautiful place.
It is. There are
a lot of places in Ghana I haven't visited.
Just pick anywhere.
In Ghana.
Okay, anywhere in Ghana. Which other?
Anywhere in Ghana.
Region that you may possibly haven't visited.
The Northern region.
No, you'll go to the Northern region. Creating your own questions and answering them as you like. Finally, what's your favorite hobby and how did you get into it? Briefly.
Tennis.
Tennis? Oh, yes. Fun. I want to do tennis,
tennis, yes. So someone introduced me to it and I've loved it since then. But these days I can't, because I cannot wear my puskili and go and play tennis. Someone take a picture and say, and she's working in town with us.
So you can't quite do that?
Yes, and because of time too.
Yeah, I can imagine.
But I hope after the political season I'll go back.
See you
it's a very healthy game.
It is. It's a
very healthy game.
Lovely. I'll join you when I
That's good.
Phyllis, once again, thank you so much for being on the Natalie Ford Show. It's been an absolute pleasure having you here on the show. Now, as we round up with the Natalie Ford Show, as always, I'd want to leave you with a few words here on Natalie's take. There's so much about Phyllis's journey and aspirations that stands out to me. However, one thing is clear. Although she's still vying for this seat and aspiring for this position, even prior to this, she has made some impact in her community, be it health checks, whatever it is, and improving the roads. She's done something. Sometimes, ever so often, we wait for the position before making a change. So this is just to encourage you, in any small way, within politics or outside of politics, do something to transform and improve the lives of a friend or someone in your community. Thank you so much for watching the Natalie Ford Show this evening. Next week, same time, we'll return with conversations that matter. Have a good evening.